just getting a post-match interview here at Hadley following today's 2-1 defeat. Dave, was it a case of the fact of one game too far for us today, or was it something else? I didn't think there was a great deal in the contest. Just maybe I think they were a little bit more ruthless in the final third than us, and that maybe was the difference on the day.
Yeah, I don't think it's down to too many games, because we've still played well in the previous three. There was bits of today where we dominated sort of 20 minutes in the second half. We had enough chances. We made some good opportunities first half. We had a lot of possession around the edge of their box and didn't make it late in the half. And we had some fresh legs in there anyway. The big disappointment today is to lose George now for the rest of the season with his hamstring. We didn't hit Bondi, and George probably needed a rest. We couldn't do it. Not because we didn't have numbers, we had plenty of numbers, we didn't have the forwards. And that's a shame, because Bondi's been ill all week, and he had to stay fresh to go away with Skip on a golf tour tomorrow, so that was the important bit for him. Yeah, no, there's no excuses today. The players, when they spoke at the end, Tom was annoyed that we hadn't got something out of the game, especially once we get it back to 1-1. There's not much in it, and you're right. You know, the little fella's just manoeuvred himself enough room to get his shot away late on. At the other end, we've had enough opportunities, and we had an awful decision against us when it's a back heel to Adam, who comes from deep, and God only knows where the flag comes from. But no, we were fine. No excuses. Hadley were, more ruthless and picked up the result.
Any comment on the first goal at all? Because the players seemed to insinuate that was maybe touch and go as to whether that was offside as well.
Same linesman, and it wasn't touch. He stood on his own. So look, there were some decisions today that were very strange. That's probably the best way to say it.
It's perhaps disappointing as well that there was only maybe 4 minutes of added time as well, because there was a lot of stoppages in the second half.
I think look, I would say to you that had he managed the game once I was in front, and rightfully tried to waste as much as they could. We couldn't get a ball back on the pitch half the time, you name it, but he didn't seem to stop anything for it. So 4 minutes I find very strange, I have to say, but it probably goes hand in hand a little bit with how the game went in today, if you like. So listen, we can all come up with hard luck stories. They got two, we got one.
Skip, give us some positives from the game today, because there was some. It was, when you consider that the lads there's a few lads out there that have played every game since last Saturday. Yeah. It's always a big ask. I know we always say that we don't like to find excuses, but we were still in that game today right to the end, and maybe on a different day we could have got something out of the contest.
It's always positives at the end of the day. We've just had a tough week where you've played Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. 3 of those games we played very well. Today I thought we played well at times, to be fair. We haven't had a shock at the day. It's just one of those things. Dave says it probably wasn't one game too many. We look at things sometimes differently. I think us being asked to play on Thursday when we could have played that fixture 3 weeks ago by reversing it, and the league wouldn't allow us to, I think was not a good decision. But that's their rules. And that's contributed today with tired legs and potentially George's hamstring, because he's been asked to play.
Do we think the fact that he was, obviously it was unfortunate that Fisher went off injured after 30 minutes, do you think the fact that he came on after 30 minutes on Thursday, having put in a great shift on Tuesday,
yep,
do you think that's maybe
It is, because you're trying to put out a side that's competitive, to be fair to the league, because Hadley are trying to go for the playoffs. So if you go and put out 8 or 9 players from the reserves to rest the first team, it's not fair to those chasing the playoffs. on Thursday you're playing Barton, who at the time weren't guaranteed to stay up. So you go and rest a load of players and then they go and win comfortably and stay up. Goal difference as an example. So you're trying to be fair. Everybody in this league, we get on well with the majority. Every game is competitive. There's nobody out there that you could say has thrown the towel in. So you're trying to be as competitive in every game. And I just feel being asked to play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is not fair on individual players, player welfare, and also for the league, because you're trying to be competitive and win every game. It's one of those things. Is there an answer to it? Probably beyond me, but the fact that we could have played the Thursday game 3 weeks ago, reversing the fixture, which both sides were happy with, probably niggles me more than anything else. Players today gave everything, can't argue with that. Dave's alluded on the officials. I get you're not going to get every decision right. There's going to be controversy, always is with referees. I watch the Premier League and they get hounded and berated. But there's also a way of speaking to people and how their linesman, or the linesman spoke to Dave when making a substitution first half, was out of order, and it's on the VO, isn't it? Because the VO is that side. So, yeah, that's the frustrating thing. But result-wise, one of them, Hadley win. They got the 2 goals, we didn't. Got no qualms. I don't think there's any games this season where I come off moaning because we've lost. You take the good with the smooth, or whatever the saying is.
Or even the rough with the smooth.
Rough with the smooth. We'll go for that one. I'll try to make one up. Good with the smooth.
Dave, just to round off, obviously it's a really busy time for everybody. 4 games, 7 days. I think if we'd have been offered the points return that we've had from the 3 league games we've had, but it means winning the Bed Senior Cup, I think we take that 100%.
1,000,000% for me. So, yeah, 1,000,000%. I think, like I said to you, I think I said in the week, and I'm not changing my mind. I think we've had a great season from where we are. We are where we are because of the weather. You know, and it's as simple as that. Every single club in this league has gone through the hell of, their grounds being flooded. Obviously, apart from the couple of 3G pitches, and everybody else is in the same boat. We just played Dunstable in the cup, and they've just done the same as we've just done. They come out a bit better. They picked up more points than us in that period. So, I have no arguments with it. It is what it is. We got it right for the month.
I think we have had to. I say, if we're being totally honest, we've had to nurse quite a few players through to this stage as well. It's not been 4 games and 7 days aside. We've still, over the last few months, we've never been in a position where we can say, you know what, everybody's fully fit, everybody's firing. We are as good at. I think you alluded to in an interview we did recently. I think this is almost as good of achievement as finishing second last season in terms of what we've had thrown at us, in terms of the constant change of personnel that we've had over the course of the season.
Yeah, it is. I think it is, and even from the Tuesday's result, we still had players we couldn't use on the Thursday, and today that we would have liked to have maybe rested 1 or 2, but on the bench we had today Simo, who we didn't want to use, which we didn't. Because hopefully that his knee will be okay for, we're talking next Saturday. We had Charlie, who's just come back from a long-term injury. We had in our minds 30 minutes, he got 30 minutes. We had Ollie Snaith, who's just come back from an injury. We had our minds sort of 20-30 minutes, he ended up I think with about 20. And the only fully fit lad was Aziz, who had a great game in the week. But we wanted to put Harry back into the side. So we just made the decision on the shape today. And it didn't work for him. I feel sorry for Harry because he's been outstanding right back, and the poor kids played in midfield, left back and everything today. And and then we got Aziz on, so we got a bit of energy from him. It's just what it is. But we'll keep. And we sent 3 reserves today who have also had injuries to get some minutes, and hopefully they'll come through that okay. And we'll just nurse it over the last 4 games. We've got 4. Is it 4? 4 to play.
Yeah.
And before today's game, I said to Skip that we need to probably look at those games, pick teams for 4 games that lads know they're going to get a rest, they know they're going to get some starts, and provided there's nothing bad, and we've now lost George for the rest of the season, that we just get this finished, pick up hopefully. And again, when he talks about integrity, we've got Aldridge twice, Killington once. So we'll be putting sides out to try and win them games, because we could well end up having a hand in who stays up and who stays down. And what I wouldn't want to do is put out weak sides and lose 2 games to Aylesbury and 1 game to Killington in a whimper, and cause a problem for Tame, who we get on well with. So, you know, we want to try and, as we want to try and win those 3 games, and we'll go full out to try and win them. You know, because I would suggest to you that Tame would probably look at them and thinking, Biggleswade would do us a favour. Well, we've got to try and do them a favour.
Excellent stuff, chaps. Commiserations on defeat today. I say well done for getting us going again for yet another game. Seems like we're playing every other day at the minute.
Yeah.
We are back in action on Wednesday against Aylesbury United, so we look forward to seeing you then.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.